Have you ever closed your eyes at night expecting nothing more than rest, only to awaken from a dream that felt more real than your waking life? What if that dream wasn't just your imagination? What if, while your body lay still, your consciousness was somewhere else entirely, walking in a world that exists beyond the reach of ordinary perception? This is not just a mystical question. It's a bridge between ancient philosophy and modern science, between spiritual tradition and neuroscience. And today, we're going to walk that bridge together. Why sleep has always been more than sleep. Humans have always known that sleep is strange. We lie down, our bodies relax, the outside world fades, yet our inner world blooms with activity. The ancient Egyptians believed that dreams were messages from the gods, divine telegrams that could guide rulers and shape empires. In their Book of the Dead, they spoke of the soul, or Ba, leaving the sleeping body to wander other realms. The Greeks too considered sleep a gateway. Plato imagined that in our dreams the soul could touch higher realities, glimpsing the forms, the perfect eternal blueprints behind everything we see. Aristotle, more grounded, thought dreams were the echoes of sensory impressions. And yet, even he admitted their mysterious power to reveal truths the waking mind might miss. In the East, Indian philosophy spoke of swapna, the dream state, as one of the 4 states of consciousness described in the Mandukya Upanishad. Dreams were not illusions. They were layers of reality, woven into the great fabric of Brahman, the ultimate reality. And in Chinese Taoist tradition, the line between waking and dreaming was so thin that the philosopher Zhuangzi famously asked, "Am I a man who dreamed I was a butterfly, or a butterfly dreaming I am a man?" Across civilizations, the act of sleeping was rarely seen as merely biological. It was an act of travel, a nightly migration into unseen dimensions. Science joins the conversation. Today, modern science gives us precise language: REM sleep, non-REM cycles, brainwave frequencies. We know that during deep sleep, the brain moves into delta waves, slow, rhythmic pulses, and that during REM, it lights up with electrical activity similar to being awake. But here's where it gets fascinating. In the REM stage, areas linked to memory, emotion, and sensory imagery are highly active. The brain's default mode network, often associated with self-reflection and imagination, is in overdrive. Time perception distorts. Minutes can feel like hours. This mirrors reports from deep meditation practitioners and near-death experiencers whose brain states show similar electrical patterns. Neuroscientists like Dr. Andrew Newberg have noted that both meditation and certain dream states quiet the parietal lobes, responsible for orienting you in space, creating a sense of boundlessness, a feeling of existing everywhere and nowhere at once. So the question arises, are dreams simply internal hallucinations, or are they genuine journeys into other layers of reality? The philosophical puzzle. What is consciousness doing? If you ask a materialist, someone who believes everything is physical, they'll say consciousness is an emergent property of the brain. Turn off the brain and consciousness vanishes. But this doesn't explain why so many dreamers, meditators, and near-death survivors report experiences that are consistent across cultures, rich with verifiable details from locations they've never visited physically, often life-changing in their impact. Philosophers like Immanuel Kant argued that human perception is limited by the categories of the mind. We never experience reality as it is, only as it appears to us. In this light, sleep could be a way of loosening those categories, allowing consciousness to explore forms of reality we cannot process in waking life. Meanwhile, William James, the father of modern psychology, suggested that the brain might not produce consciousness, but rather filter it, like a radio tuning into a limited frequency. When we sleep, perhaps the filter shifts, allowing us to tune in to other stations of reality. Stories that challenge skepticism. Consider the case of Robert Monroe, an American businessman who began experiencing spontaneous out-of-body episodes during sleep. Initially thinking he was dreaming, he started documenting every detail. Eventually, he founded the Monroe Institute, which collaborated with scientists to study altered states of consciousness. In controlled experiments, Monroe and others claimed to describe distant locations with startling accuracy, details later confirmed by independent sources. Or think of lucid dreaming research at Stanford University in the 1980s, led by Dr. Stephen LaBerge. Participants trained to recognize when they were dreaming could signal to researchers from within their dreams using pre-agreed eye movement patterns. This was proof. In the dream world, you could be aware, deliberate, and conscious. These findings don't prove that consciousness leaves the body, but they open the door to the possibility. The emotional compass of the dreamer. Here's something both mystics and psychologists agree on. Your emotional state before sleep matters. Fall asleep angry or fearful, and your dreams often mirror that tension, pulling you into chaotic, unsettling landscapes. Fall asleep with gratitude or curiosity, and your dreams are more likely to be vivid, harmonious, even transcendent. Ancient yogic traditions taught sankalpa, setting a conscious intention before sleep. Modern psychology mirrors this in the practice of pre-sleep suggestion, where you focus your mind on a desired outcome, question, or image. Thomas Edison famously napped with a ball bearing in hand as he drifted into the hypnagogic state, the hazy bridge between wake and sleep. The ball would drop, waking him and allowing him to record any flashes of insight before they vanished. Nikola Tesla reportedly used similar techniques. The hypnagogic doorway. That hypnagogic state is a gold mine. Brain waves slow into the alpha and theta range, creating a fertile ground for enhanced creativity, access to subconscious memories, vivid imagery, and sensory impressions. Occasionally, the feeling of detaching from the body. It's here that many people experience the first stage of what's called an out-of-body experience, OBE. They might feel vibrations, hear a humming or buzzing, or sense themselves floating above their bed. Skeptics say this is a trick of the inner ear or a neurological quirk, but those who have lived it describe it as unmistakably real. Why this matters more than you think. This isn't just intellectual curiosity. If consciousness can operate beyond the brain, even under certain conditions, it suggests that death may not be the end of awareness. We have untapped capacities for perception and learning. Our nightly dreams might be a training ground for deeper states of existence. The philosopher Socrates once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Perhaps we could add, the unexamined dream is a missed opportunity for awakening. Key takeaways. Sleep is more than rest. Across cultures and centuries, it's been seen as a gateway to other dimensions of reality. Science and spirituality overlap. Modern research into REM, lucid dreaming, and brain states mirrors ancient descriptions of altered consciousness. Your pre-sleep state matters. Emotional and mental preparation can influence the depth and quality of your dream experiences. The hypnagogic state is powerful. Use it deliberately for creativity, insight, or even conscious dream exploration. Question the limits of perception. Whether or not you believe in OBEs, exploring your own dream world can expand your understanding of reality. The architecture of sleep. Before we can talk about traveling beyond the body, we have to understand the terrain we're traveling through. Sleep isn't a single uniform state. It's a cycle, a dance between different stages. Stage 1, NREM, light sleep, the bridge from wakefulness. Brain waves slow from beta to alpha, and you might feel sudden muscle twitches, hypnic jerks. Stage 2, NREM, deeper relaxation with theta brain waves and bursts of activity called sleep spindles, thought to protect you from waking too easily. Stage 3, NREM, deep sleep dominated by delta waves. This is physical restoration time, tissue repair, immune strengthening, and growth hormone release. REM sleep, brain activity spikes, breathing quickens, and the eyes dart beneath closed lids. This is the realm of the most vivid dreams, where consciousness seems to stretch its legs. Most people cycle through these stages 4 to 6 times a night. And here's where it gets interesting. The proportion of REM sleep increases in the second half of the night, meaning your most immersive dream experiences are likely to happen toward morning. If you're serious about exploring consciousness, this timing matters, because waking up during REM, or dipping back into it after a brief awakening, greatly increases your odds of lucidity. Philosophical foundations. What is a world, anyway? When we say dream world, what do we actually mean? The philosopher Immanuel Kant insisted that we never perceive things in themselves, only phenomena, the appearances filtered through our senses and cognitive structures. In this sense, your waking world is already a mental construct, much like a dream. Bertrand Russell pointed out that even in waking life, we rely on inference, not direct contact with reality. The chair you see isn't the chair, it's a perception shaped by light waves, neural signals, and memory. From this perspective, dream worlds aren't categorically different from waking life. They're just less constrained by the rules of physics and shared consensus. The philosopher David Chalmers calls this the simulation argument for dreaming. Both waking and dreaming are immersive simulations. The main difference is how predictable and consistent they are. Parallel realities or inner theater. Here lies the great debate. Are dreams purely generated by the brain, or do they tap into external realities? Materialists argue dreams are the byproduct of memory consolidation, emotional processing, and random neural firing. But a growing number of physicists and philosophers entertain the idea that consciousness is non-local, not confined to the brain. Quantum mechanics has complicated the picture. In the double-slit experiment, particles behave differently when observed, suggesting consciousness itself may influence reality. If that's true, then consciousness might not be inside reality. It might be woven into its very fabric. Philosopher Henri Bergson proposed that the brain is more like a radio receiver than a generator, tuning into a vast field of consciousness. Dreams, in this model, could be when the dial drifts, allowing us to pick up alternate broadcasts, scientific clues, that point beyond shared dream phenomena. In some documented cases, two people report the same dream, including specific details, without prior discussion. While skeptics point to coincidence, these reports parallel experiments in telepathy, such as the famous Maimonides Dream Laboratory studies in the 1960s, where participants attempted to send images to sleeping subjects, with statistically significant hits. Veridical perceptions. During OBEs, some near-death experiencers accurately describe events in rooms they could not physically see. Dr. Penny Sartori's research in UK hospitals includes accounts of unconscious patients describing specific equipment or actions taken during resuscitation. Problem-solving dreams. Auguste Kekulé dreamt of a snake biting its tail, the image that led to his discovery of the benzene ring's structure. These breakthroughs suggest the dreaming mind accesses associative networks or pattern recognition capacities not available in waking thought. Techniques for conscious dream exploration. If you want to make your dream life a second life, you need a method. Here are the 4 pillars of dream travel training. 1. Dream recall. You can't explore what you don't remember. Keep a notebook by your bed and write down anything you recall upon waking, even a feeling or fragment. Over time, this strengthens the neural pathways that prioritize dream memory. 2. Reality checks. Throughout the day, ask yourself, am I dreaming? Do something to test it. Try pushing your finger through your palm. Read a line of text twice to see if it changes. This habit carries into dreams, triggering lucidity. 3. Wake back to bed. WBTB. Wake up after 4 to 6 hours of sleep, stay awake for 20 to 40 minutes with calm focus on dreaming, then go back to sleep. This increases the chance of entering REM consciously. 4th, setting intention. Before sleep, clearly state your goal. Tonight I will realize I am dreaming. I want to visit a place I've never been. I will meet my mentor and ask for guidance. This aligns with both ancient Sankalpa and modern cognitive rehearsal techniques. Philosophy meets practice. The ethics of dream travel. Why talk ethics in dreams? Because if dreams are indeed another arena of consciousness, how you act there could matter. Perhaps to your psyche, perhaps to the reality you inhabit. Aristotle argued that virtue is formed through habit. If you practice cruelty in dreams, does it subtly shape your waking character? Buddhist teachings on dream yoga emphasize compassion and mindfulness even in the dream state, using it as training for enlightenment. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius saw dreams as a mirror of the soul. If your dream actions disturb you, they may point to hidden attachments or fears to address. Case study: lucidity as a tool for healing. In one study published in Dreaming, 2014, trauma survivors who learned lucid dreaming techniques reported reduced nightmares and greater emotional control. In the lucid state, they could confront frightening dream figures, transform the environment, or awaken at will, experiences that carried over into waking resilience. From a philosophical lens, this reflects Nietzsche's idea of amor fati, the love of one's fate. By engaging with the dream rather than fleeing it, one learns to embrace and transform even the most painful experiences. From dreamer to explorer, mapping your inner cosmos. Think of your dreams as a personal universe. Some locations may recur: a strange city, a certain mountain, a familiar yet unreal house. Keep a dream map, noting recurring places, characters, and events. Carl Jung would call these places archetypal landscapes, symbolic representations of your psyche, shared in the collective unconscious. Over time, you might discover your dream geography has rules, histories, even hidden gateways to new territories. The parallel reality hypothesis. Now, let's entertain the most provocative idea. When you dream, you don't create a world, you enter one. This aligns with theories from physicist David Deutsch, who argues that the multiverse is not just possible, but inevitable. Every quantum possibility exists in some branch of reality. Your dreams might be consciousness stepping sideways into one of these branches, sampling a life where you made different choices, or where the laws of physics bend in unfamiliar ways. From this view, flying dreams aren't fantasy. They're experiences in a universe where gravity is weaker or controllable. Meeting a deceased loved one might be contact in a reality where they are still alive. Bizarre dream logic could be the consistent logic of another dimension. The implication? Your nightly rest could be a passport to the infinite. Practical application: using dreams to shape waking life. Whether or not you believe in parallel realities, dreams can be harnessed for tangible benefits. Creative innovation. Use dreams to brainstorm ideas without the constraints of waking logic. Keep a sketch pad by your bed. Emotional processing. Engage lucidly with nightmares to diffuse recurring fears. Skill enhancement. Practice physical or mental skills in lucid dreams. Athletes have used dream rehearsal to improve real-world performance. Spiritual growth. Set intentions to meet guides, explore symbolic temples, or meditate within the dream. Philosophical reflection. Who is the dreamer? One question runs beneath all this. If in waking life you are you, and in the dream you are still you, which is the real you? Descartes famously doubted everything except the act of thinking. Cogito, ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. But in dreams you also think. You reason, feel, and sometimes remember your waking life. So does this mean the dreamer is just as real as the waking self? Tibetan Buddhism offers a radical answer. Both are illusions. The self you think you are is as constructed as the dream self. Recognizing this in both states is the first step toward liberation. Key takeaways. Sleep has structure. Knowing your sleep cycles helps time lucid dream attempts for maximum success. Dreams may be as real as waking life. Philosophically, both are constructed realities filtered by consciousness. Techniques work: dream recall, reality checks, WBTB, and intention setting can all dramatically increase conscious dream experiences. Dream ethics matter. Actions in dreams can influence waking character and emotional health. Parallel realities are possible, whether literal or symbolic. Exploring dreams expands your sense of what's real. Dream work shapes waking life. Use dreams for creativity, healing, skill building, and spiritual exploration. Dreams, death, and the continuum of awareness. If dreams are a nightly rehearsal for death, what are they training us for? In many spiritual traditions, death is not an end but a passage, and dreams are the practice runs. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, Bardo Thodol, describes the Bardo states, intermediate phases between death and rebirth, as being remarkably dreamlike. Tibetan Buddhist masters train to remain conscious during dreams, so they can also remain conscious during the death process. In their view, the ability to navigate dream landscapes with awareness prepares you for navigating the afterlife with clarity. The environments, beings, and even the frightening visions encountered after death are said to be projections of the mind, just as in dreams. Recognizing them as such allows the practitioner to move toward liberation instead of being pulled into rebirth by fear or desire. From a philosophical lens, this is profound. If consciousness is primary and the body is secondary, then learning to steer consciousness in altered states may be one of the most valuable skills a human can cultivate. The scientific angle on death-like states. Modern research on near-death experiences, NDEs, shows striking similarities to lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences. The sensation of leaving the body, movement through a tunnel or toward a light, encounters with deceased loved ones or spiritual beings, a life review, vivid, panoramic, and emotional. Neuroscientist Dr. Eben Alexander, who experienced a deep NDE during a coma, described it as more real than real. Interestingly, his brain was so compromised during the experience that he argues it could not have generated the visions, suggesting that consciousness operates independently of the physical brain. If dream consciousness can mimic aspects of the NDE, it raises a provocative possibility. The dream state is a biologically safe way to explore the same territory we may encounter after death. Advanced dream practices across cultures. 1. Tibetan dream yoga. The goal is to maintain awareness through all states: waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and death. Practices include recognizing dream signs, transforming dream environments at will, meeting and questioning dream characters, using the dream as a meditation hall for compassion or mantra recitation. 2nd, Taoist sleep alchemy. Ancient Taoist adepts used dreams for inner alchemy, refining ki, life force, by visualizing energy flows during dreams, sometimes traveling to celestial realms for instruction from immortals. 3. Sufi true dreams. In Sufi tradition, dreams are a form of revelation. Some are symbolic, requiring interpretation. Others are considered literal journeys of the soul. The Prophet Muhammad reportedly valued true dreams as one of the remaining forms of prophecy. 4. Aboriginal dream time. In Australian Aboriginal belief, dream time is both the time of creation and a timeless realm always accessible. In sleep, one can return to dream time to receive guidance from ancestral spirits and participate in the ongoing creation of the world. The physics of the possible. The leap from symbolic dream to literal otherworldly travel is huge, but modern physics leaves room for radical interpretations. Many worlds interpretation, Hugh Everett. Every possible quantum outcome exists in a separate, branching universe. Dreams could be glimpses of these other timelines. Holographic universe theory. David Bohm, Carl Pribram. Reality might be a projection from a deeper order. Dreams could be tuning into different projections of the same underlying source. Simulation hypothesis. Nick Bostrom. If reality is a simulation, dreams might be sandbox environments where the code is more flexible. These are speculative, but they remind us that our current models of reality are provisional. The hard lines between waking and dreaming may be more porous than we think. Designing your 30-day dream mastery program. If you want to explore dreams not as random events, but as an intentional journey, you can train, just as you would for any skill. Here's a structured, step-by-step plan. Week 1. Laying the foundation. Goal: build recall and intention. Dream journal. Keep it by your bed. Record everything, even fragments. Reality checks. Do 5 to 10 per day. Example: try to push your finger through your palm and ask, "Am I dreaming?" Sleep hygiene. Regular bedtime. No heavy meals or screens an hour before sleep. Week 2. Entering the gateway. Goal: trigger lucidity. Wake back to bed. WBTB. Wake after 4 to 6 hours. Stay up for 20 to 40 minutes. Then return to sleep with intention. Mnemonic induction. Mild. Before sleep, repeat. Next time I'm dreaming, I will realize I'm dreaming. Identify dream signs. Review your journal for recurring themes or settings. Week 3. Navigation and control. Goal: learn to stabilize and explore. Spinning technique. If a lucid dream fades, spin your dream body in place to re-engage the senses. Environmental interaction. Touch objects. Focus on details to deepen immersion. Dream mapping. Start noting recurring dream locations and explore them deliberately. Week 4. Purposeful exploration. Goal: use dreams for growth. Set a mission. Meet a dream guide, practice a skill, or ask a profound question. Conscious confrontation. Engage with fears or nightmares. Creative harvest. Upon waking, translate dream imagery into art, writing, or problem-solving ideas. Potential pitfalls and how to handle them. False awakenings. Sometimes you dream that you've woken up. Always do a reality check upon waking. Nightmares. Intensifying. Lucidity can amplify fear if you panic. Instead, remind yourself, this is my mind. I am safe. Sleep paralysis, a natural REM phenomenon. Stay calm, focus on breathing, and it may become a launching point into lucidity. Integrating dream wisdom into daily life. The point of dream exploration is not to escape waking life, but to enrich it. Dreams can reveal hidden beliefs or desires, offer symbolic guidance for decision-making, strengthen creativity and adaptability, teach emotional regulation through simulated challenges. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Your dream life is one of the richest sources of those colors, and the more conscious you are of them, the more intentional your waking life can become. Looking ahead. The unfinished map. The study of dreams is still young in scientific terms. In the coming decades, we may see brain-to-brain dream sharing via neural interfaces, a AI-assisted dream decoding in real time, cross-cultural dream cartographies mapping recurring shared landscapes. If consciousness is indeed a traveler, we are at the dawn of interdimensional exploration, and your bed is the launch pad. Key takeaways: dreams can be training for death. In traditions like Tibetan Buddhism, dream mastery prepares you for navigating post-death realms. Advanced traditions agree. Many cultures treat dreams as real journeys with spiritual significance. Physics leaves room for radical possibilities. Many worlds, holography, and simulation theories hint that dream realities could be just as real as waking life. Structured training works. A 30-day program can significantly enhance recall, lucidity, and control. Dreams enrich waking life. Their greatest value may be in how they deepen creativity, insight, and self-understanding. Closing thought. Tonight, when you close your eyes, you may think you are simply falling asleep. But you are also stepping onto an invisible path that billions walk every night, into worlds that vanish with the morning light, yet shape the very core of who you are. The only question is, will you walk that path unconsciously, or will you awaken in the dream and see where it truly leads?